The credit card balances start creeping up. Then they have a baby, right? Now they have baby costs, and then things are expensive as hell, right? Now they must work more and more to afford the lifestyle they've built, and most of their fights are actually about money, but they don't recognize it, right? They are at all times one pandemic or 3 months away from complete financial collapse, right? That right there is about 95 to 98% of the United States, right? They've went into that circle, into that world, and walked into it, right? And that's okay if you decide to do that, right? It's not okay is that you don't know you're doing that, right? So if you want to do that, that's fine, but I just now told you, hey guys, that's what you're doing, right? So maybe you take that knowledge and realize, you know what? Maybe we don't need a new car right now. You know, maybe the TV we had in the apartment is okay. You know what I mean? Maybe we should save for the baby, right? So that, you know, maybe we don't need a $4,000 a month mortgage. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we don't have to chase what the Joneses are chasing because the Joneses are also 3 months away from financial collapse. All right? So, all right, I'm going to talk about the 4 quadrants, right, of kind of like financial independence. So I'm going to draw them up here. Some of you have seen this before. Some of you have probably never seen this, all right? I'm going to kind of go through it quickly, but it's an interesting way to think about things, right? And I can tell you this. I probably first time heard about this concept, I don't know, maybe I was in college or something, and it really kind of opened my eyes to things, right? And I think it's going to explain a lot. So, all right. So, this is referred to as a 4 quadrant, the cash flow quadrant, right? There's a lot of different ways this is referred to, but generally this is the accepted state. All right. So, the E and S quadrants are on the left side, the B and I are on the right side. So there's a left and there's a right, right? The diagram explains very much what this is. So, E stands for employee, okay? So this stands for employee. Somebody in this quadrant earns most of their money from working, right? S is self-employed, right? B is business owner, and I is investor. Yeah. So Kiyosaki came up with this. I'm surprised he did not win the Nobel Prize in economics for coming up with this because it really puts a lot of things in perspective. So, an E-employee is otherwise known as a job, right? A self-employed are generally, a lot of people fit here, they're small business owners or they're self-employed like doctors or lawyers or anything that's like a skill, right? Generally a white-collar skill, but also can be a blue-collar skill that they sell hourly. So you could be an independent welder, like a master welder, right? Or you could be a mechanic that works out of a garage in his backyard, stuff like that. That's what self-employed would be, right? Then you have business owners. Business owners are generally selling products, and they have a system in place where, as a business owner, you should be able to leave the business without you attending it, and it continue to run, right? So there's a lot of like gray area that people don't understand between self-employed and business owner, but this is a simple solution to that. A business owner can leave the business for an extended period of time, and as long as the employees of the business continue to follow the systems and the processes, that business owner will continue to make money, right? So, for example, let's say I'm a welder and I work for myself, I'm self-employed, right? And I'm the only welder, right? Well, I'm not a business owner, I'm self-employed, and here's why. The business is me, right? If clients are showing up to get welding, right, and I'm down in Florida or in Jamaica, they can't get those services, right? Because I am the business. Now, if I'm a welder and I hire 7 or 8 other welders to work for me, right? And there's a process of people bringing in things that needed welded, and people, know the system, the process of doing it, and billing the clients and delivering. Well, then I own a welding business. Do you guys see the difference? All right. So, with that being said, where does this opportunity fit into? What do you think, Caitlin? What's that?
Self-employed?
Yeah,
Okay.
100%. All right, so let me take a step back for a second. I want to tell you guys something about this quadrant. These quadrants. It's not just about making money, right? You can actually be a rich person and a poor person in every quadrant. You can be a poor person as a business owner, right? So this is not about money, it's about the concepts, right? But here's what I do know. Money supports life, live, and dreams. We've heard that before, right? Right? Money supports. So you get to decide. All right. So yes, right? This opportunity, right, starts here in this quadrant. All right? This is a Snider Insurance Group. All right. Now let me go through it. Okay? Many people, right, who show up, get recruited, pass, right, who fail quickly, right, because they have the mentality that it's here. It's not there. Okay? Right? Christina had one today, right? 3 hours, passed the test, 3 hours in the training, right? Started asking questions about revenue or something, right? I was like, what? Right? And said, hey, this opportunity is probably not for me. And here's why. They have the employee mindset, okay? And that's fine if you want to have the employee mindset, but once again, I'm going to tell you what you're walking into, right? Because it's that circle of what I just talked about earlier about get married, get debt, get that, and that's fine if that's what you choose to do, but most people don't choose to do that. They just do it because the neighbors are doing it. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Now, here's an interesting thing. This opportunity, it's challenging, but if you play it right, can become here. That's what's very interesting about this opportunity. All right, and I'm going to talk about that. So, on the left side, right, this is called active income, right? You are generally trading your time and skill for money, right? But you are the time and skill. On this side of the quadrant, it's passive, right? You do not have to be present to generate income, right? The systems generate income generally, right? Now, usually over here have to kickstart it, the system or the process. You know, if you're going to be an investor, which I'm not going to talk much about, you have to decide what you're going to invest in, whether it's like real estate, stocks, bonds, things like that. And you have to financially educate yourself before you do that, right? But this is passive and this is active, okay? Now, everybody in the world talks about, you know, you see it all the time, oh, passive income, oh, blah, 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 blah. Here's the reason why so many people talk about it but don't achieve it. They simply didn't educate themselves financially to do it. They have a will, but they don't have the will to actually sit down and watch a 15 to 20 minute YouTube video that will give you the answer. Let me ask you by show of hands, and I'll answer it too. Have you found a YouTube video about any topic that you knew you should watch, but instead you just liked it or saved it with the idea I'll come back and later and I'll watch it? Okay, all right, that's fine. I do the same thing, right? My likes, I'm like, ooh, I like that. All right, I had to unlike that Cardi B Money video. You know what I'm saying? But, all right, let's recognize that we're doing that, right? And you have to find the time in your schedule to maybe actually follow through. Because you can play over here, and a lot of people play over here, but it's not real. You know? You can rent a Lambo, right? We did this weekend. You can rent a Lambo, you know, so you can fake that. All right. So once again, most individuals live in the E area. You work for a company, you trade your time for money. If you want to earn money, you must work more hours. Another option is to work for a company that pays better. That's your only other option here, right? There is no passive income in this quadrant. Generally, when you clock out or you leave the building, that's when the income ends, right? If you don't work, you don't make money if you're in this quadrant, right? The words of ease right here, if you want to know the E personality you're talking to, is I'm looking for a safe and secure job with good pay and excellent benefits, right? Let me tell you guys something about the last 20 years, right? The jobs that your parents and your grandparents had do not exist no more. It changed. When you guys and your generation decided they like the internet, I like Facebook, I like Instagram, I like the TikTok, you destroyed those jobs. So you don't get to have those things and those jobs, right? You know, like I have, grandparents who had pensions, right? And I'm like, what the hell is a pension? You guys ever heard of a pension? right? You work somewhere for 30 years and then you retire, right? And they continue to pay you. What? Yeah, they continue. I'm not talking about no 401k. I'm talking about they continue to pay you until you die. So you get the pension money and you get your Social Security money. You get two incomes when you retire, right?